Hi cuties. So I didn't expect to be making a video about Sony being silly 2 times in a row, but they had to continue their 2024 roller coaster ride, I suppose. Let's just get straight to it, cut the bullshit. We got Horizon Zero Dawn and Days Gone remasters in big 2024. So Jordan Midler of VGC joked that the Days Gone director John Garvin is gonna be mad at the news, and this comes days after him being a little puss on Twitter because Deacon St. John, Days Gone's protagonist, was in Astrobot. He was already salty because of the lack of the sales originally and not being able to make a sequel to Days Gone, so I kinda get it, but like, Astrobot is Game of the Year, dog. Relax. Horizon Zero Dawn's remaster leaks come straight from the ESRB themselves, who seemingly never fake this kind of shit, so I mean, we should believe them, I suppose. Where do I even start, y'all? I mean, wow. I guess I'll begin with saying I do love both of these video games, despite their flaws, and I have put many hours into both of them. Days Gone was like the only thing I wanted for my birthday in 2019 because I was that damn hyped, and I love it. But can we be honest with ourselves? There's absolutely zero fucking reason for it to be remastered, y'all. Here's the thing. For both of these games, if they're entirely free with upgrading paths for customers who already purchased them the first time around, I'ma be less upset. But still, it feels like this is just a waste of time and assets in the Ripper's eyes. What's funny as hell is that these games are both on the personal computer already, so it's not like they can run that angle with like Last of Us 2 Remastered, for example, of making sure there's a native PS5 port for every game that makes its way to PC. I mean, they run beautifully on the PS5 already backwards compatibly, so beautiful in fact that they are 4K 60 with like 0 hitches, dog. I mean, Days Gone was already a technical marvel on the PS4 with how many damn zombies appear on a screen at once, and Horizon looked amazing too. I just don't get it, okay? Maybe it's a cheap way for Sony to rack up extra bucks, but it really confirms to me that this generation is nothing but remakes and remasters, but we knew that already. And that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing if they were just choosing the right games to remaster, you feel me? I mean, let's just list off some of the Sony games that are dormant as a motherfucker right now. Ben Studio themselves have Siphon Filter, which was huge as hell in the early PlayStation days. Guerrilla made the fantastic Killzone series, and I get that they're happy making their silly little Horizon adventures, but why not outsource the IP to somebody else then? Help the Ripper understand. It's been 10 years since a new Infamous came out, Gravity Rush is dead, where's Jak and Daxter at? I don't know, what happened to all the apes escaping? I hate to complain, but it is really easy to nowadays when you got people at Sony themselves saying shit about how they need more IPs to work with. Brother, what? The only reason the Ripper could see Days Gone needing a native PS5 port is if they were about to launch the supposed Days Gone movie. Y'all remember this shit? I'd be surprised if this thing ever released at this point, seeing as how allegedly there's some fussing being made about the cast, but we'll just have to wait and see on that one. It's been like 2 years, so I just feel bad for Ben Studios because they've done such great work bringing the Siphon Filter series with trophy support to PS5, and they seemingly really wanted Days Gone too, but Sony didn't grant them the wish back then. Now, they're acting like this motherfucker is a huge cash cow for them or something. It's gonna be interesting to see if Sony decides to upgrade the PC ports of both games as well, because they're already super fucking fantastic ports at this point, and they're gonna have minimal improvements at best. Also, I don't know if you fellers ever claimed both of these video games on PS Plus and the stay-at-home play initiative thing that Sony did, but it is going to be super hilarious when they inevitably choose to not honor that as a way to get an upgrade path to the native PS5 versions. I mean, these hopefully have to be free. I just don't see how they could even ask 10 buckarooskies for such a thing. I mean, at least with The Last of Us Part 2, we got the no return side mode, which is pretty good, but there's no way they add extra side shit to both games. That's just probably not going to happen. I understand that big AAA games take a really long time to develop nowadays, and Sony probably feels obligated to pad their release windows with titles like this so they can keep a nice influx of video games coming. But like I said, I think people would appreciate the way older titles that have been dead for a while rather than games that we were just playing not that long ago. I mean, I could go into a whole spiel about Bloodborne, but at this point, they had to have lost the source code to that shit. It makes absolutely no sense not to have that motherfucker on PS5 already, bro. Another theory that Jack the Ripper has is that maybe when Jim Ryan initiated that huge live service push, that might have fucked up a lot of their studio's plans for their fantastic single-player games. But since that motherfucker dipped and they pivoted, now they might be scrambling trying to put the pieces back together and get back in the swing of things. Allegedly, both of these titles will be revealed at the next State of Play, but I'm crossing my fingers to see some other Sony bangers on top of these to get everyone hyped again, because the fan reception hasn't been the greatest, and I'm sure you folks are already aware of that. Announcing the PS5 Pro and showing that off with PS4 games was one thing. Then having 2 more PS4 remasters being announced only a few weeks later would be absolutely hilarious, but I'm here for it. Fuck it, it's 2024, y'all. At the end of the day, if you're excited for these remasters, I hope you have fun. I just wish perhaps Sony went just a little bit farther into their catalog. Like I said, so many of their games are stuck on the PS3 still even. I mean, could you imagine if we finally got stuff like the God of War saga, Infamous trilogy, Resistance trilogy, all natively 4K 60 on PS5? Playing on nostalgia is always a smart move when it comes to selling these video games nowadays, but who is really nostalgic for a couple of late 2010 games? Not me, bitch. I guess we'll get some good, nice DualSense effects on these games now, and perhaps the PS5 Pro will run them at 16K 240 frames per megafart. But yeah, at least we got Astrobot not that long ago, y'all. I'll probably dive in and check out these remasters if they're free to see if they're actually all that different, but if you haven't played either one at this point, please check them out actually, they're definitely worth the playthrough. Days Gone is a little slow at first, but stick with it, y'all. It's like if Ubisoft made a really good zombie game instead of like Star Wars Outlaws or some shit. That is really all I got for y'all though. Like I said, sorry for complaining about Sony 2 vidges in a row, it's just really easy to at this point, and I love to bitch a little bit, you know me, y'all are my therapists. Anyways, I might be dropping a Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster review here soon, so let me know in the comments if you folks would be interested in that. Also, thank you guys for 750 subscriblets. We're growing so fast over here, and I love y'all so damn much for that. It puts a smile on my face. But yeah, drop a copy of Croc, Legend of the Gobos on the like button. Perhaps Jack X Combat Racing on the subscribe, and I love you guys. Bye!